Hi, I'm Kevin Flanagan, head of fixed income strategy at Wisdom Tree.
And I'm Jeff Weniger, head of equity strategy. And this is Minds on the Markets, where we go behind the scenes and beyond the trends to explore the forces impacting our markets.
Hello, everybody. There's not much going on here in the month of November. Now, has there been? Oh, my goodness gracious. You know, it's not often you have a Fed meeting that gets pushed to the side or the back burner because of a presidential election, but that's what we got this time around as well. You know, there's been so much in way of discussions. What is it going to mean, the red sweep or what have you? We're going to take a little bit of a different take with this for this version of Minds on the Markets. And let's go global. Let's go across the Pacific Ocean and take a look at Asia. So, Jeff, first question always about tariffs. But is it always just about China, or are there some other countries we should be thinking about on that front?
Yeah, and thank you everyone who's liked and subscribed in these early days here of Minds on the Markets. And yeah, I mean, we do. We kind of talk about China and we talk about tariffs, and we don't think about some of these second, third, fourth order effects of other implementations of the Trump administration. And one of the themes that we've been writing about of late is, okay, well, look, tariffs, that's certainly a big part of the equation, but also deregulation in the United States is a big part. And so I think that one of the concepts is that there's a follow the leader effect. If you do end up with this M&A revival in the United States on account of, well, all these regulatory bodies will be defenestrated, goes the theory, then you could have this side effect where some of these other countries, namely Japan, who's in this M&A boom right now, starts saying, okay, the Americans are doing X, Y, and Z. We need to follow suit as well. We need to take a look at our environmental regulations and maybe trim down some of that type of thing. So that's, I think, a theme that is, I'm not seeing it much. I'm not hearing it much. It's flying a little under the radar. I think it's definitely worthy of further research.
So another interesting point, I know one that you've been making about leadership. Leadership, let's say, in Japan and the U.S. Obviously,
Yep.
President-elect Trump, we saw during his 45th tenure what some of that can be like, but in a 2.0, specifically in, you know, we've talked about India, but what about Japan? You got new leadership there. What's the difference, Trump 1.0, 2.0, with respect to Japan?
Well, it's different prime minister and a different state of affairs for the basically the call it the perpetually ruling party, the LDP there. And the issue is look, Japanese equities have been doing basically bupkis. That's an official scientific term. Nothing since February. China had that strong rally, but that's retraced in the last 5 or 6 weeks. Korea, don't even ask about Korea. Korea is just dying on the vine. The Kospi's down 400 or 500 points to 24 and change or something like that, basically just this autumn alone. And the thing is that if you remember the first Trump administration, Shinzo Abe was the PM. And if you think about global leaders and their relationships with Trump back then, he was probably the one who Trump was closest with. And, you know, Shinzo Abe is no longer with us. He's dead. He's not even on planet Earth anymore. And so not only is there this new very, very weak PM, but we don't know who may be some subsequent PM when snap elections get called. Now, I'd say the positive portent is that basically there's very, very basement expectations for the leadership structure and the competence level of the top ends of Japan. So to the extent that we end up getting a pleasant surprise in a Trump relationship there, I think that could be something that could catalyze maybe a next wave for something like the Nikkei 225. But right now it's a jury still out situation.
Final thought, monetary policy. Here in the U.S., we go back and forth. Fed's still more than likely in a rate cutting policy. How about Japan? Something different there? Are they going to raise rates? What are your thoughts, Mr. Weniger?
Well, they had gone up to 25, and then the threat was going up to 50. But there was a lot of talk that maybe you could go to 75 or even 100 basis points. But now that it's kind of come off the boil in the United States, there's not that much risk. I think it's going to be a pretty benign 2025 out of the BOJ, which is pretty much what you need. The yen is decided here to stabilize in the mid 150s. It's no longer so erratic like it had been for a good part of this year. So I think that's not really the central bank that's going to be giving us too many fireworks this upcoming year.
So 2025, everyone, the clash of the titans, fiscal policy, monetary policy. One size does not fit all. We're going to end it there. Thanks once again to Jeff's point. Check out the written commentary on wisdomtree.com. And those of you, again, here on YouTube, we appreciate it. Have a great rest of the week, everybody.
See you, Kevin.